Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know you're probably like surprised, like, oh, she's filming 2 videos in like a span of a week. Literally filmed a video, was it yesterday or the day before? One of the days. I'm kind of a little tipsy, so yeah. But anyway, as you can see, I'm dressed up in Little Mermaid attire, so we're going to review Little Mermaid. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alerts, do not watch this video. Wait until you go see the movie and then come back to this video, okay? All right. I'm probably going to focus on a lot of the stuff they added because they did add a lot of new things, even small details that people wouldn't know unless they have watched the original, like, Little Mermaid. So I would say I give the movie, I'll be honest, no bias or anything because, I mean, I love, like, Halle and Chloe. I've loved them since, let's see, when did I discover them? I'm going to say Let It Shine, which was 2012. I was about... Hold on, I'm doing math. I was about like 14, 13 in 2012. 14, 15, one of those. And I had just watched Let It Shine. And I saw them in the background. They had no lines, but they were singing. So that's how I discovered them. So they've been on Disney Channel since then. Then I discovered them with the music and everything a few years later. And like, that's when they were on Grownish and everything else. And I was like, they can sing. So I would give the movie a 10 out of 10. Honestly, because I like a lot of the new stuff they added. Obviously, a lot of it comes from Halle's fucking vocals. Let's be real. Like, she has a very angelic voice. And when she was singing Part of Your World, I literally start crying. That was crazy. I don't think I've ever cried when someone was singing before. Like, I don't know what came over me, but tears start coming down. I was like, what is this? Once she started belting and start giving like big notes, I was just like, like, I just remember like just crying. And I don't know why I was crying. I have no idea. But I remember sitting there like, why am I crying? It was a good cry, obviously. It's not like she sucked, because like she would never suck in life. But why was I crying though? I still don't know. But I remember sitting there thinking that I was just so happy to be there. I felt like in a trance in my seat. I felt like I was lucky to be a part of this experience. I felt like it was magical. Like I was somewhere that I would never be in life again. Like it was a first time for something. I felt all of that within a matter of like 10 seconds as she starts singing. I'm sitting there looking at freaking Flounder and he, doing this or whatever. And she talking about Part of Your World and she grabbing a little human stuff and she talking and, oh, you want thingamapops? I got 20. Like I'm literally sitting there like this. Like, I don't know what came over me, but I just felt like a sense of clarity and peace and just everything was going to be okay. And just, that's it. Like, it just happened. Like, I don't even know how to describe that moment of my life, but everything about it felt magical and felt nice at the same time. And everything was just everything. I don't even know what's happening. The last time I felt like that, I don't know, maybe when I was a little kid and I watched High School Musical. I really don't even know what I was feeling. I can't really put it into one word. But I can definitely say I felt like I could do anything in that moment. Like I could just walk out on the street and just, everything felt magical. I felt at peace. I felt like nothing in the world mattered. Like everything was going to be okay. Like I just felt an inner, I guess, peace and an inner glow. Like everything was fine. Don't know how my friend felt. It was obviously like a different perspective because she's never seen Little Mermaid. So she was walking into this, probably not even knowing how iconic this song is. Even little parts of the movie that were iconic that happened in the original, I'd be like, oh, this happened in the original. Or she'd be like, hey, did this happen? It'd be like something new that they added. I'd be like, no, but that's something new that they, like just little stuff. But everything I was feeling when she was singing Part of Your World, I was just like, why do I feel like this? But in a good way. It's just I never felt that before watching a movie or anything at life. Also did not know Prince Eric had a new song. Whoa. What? That was cool. Jonah? My boy has like vocals. And I had no idea. I didn't even know he could sing. That was a cool surprise because I didn't know about that. I've been trying to stay away from spoilers from Twitter and TikTok because they have like so many. Every time I scroll down, spoilers. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. So I did not know that he had a song in the movie, but everyone else I think did. And I was like, ooh. Even if I would have like seen a tweet, obviously I would have just hoped and prayed that like they wouldn't have the title of the song at least. But that was good. I was not expecting that. That was really nice because this whole time we've been talking about Halle's vocals, and during the press tours it's all about Halle could sing and Halle's voice. We never hear anything about Jonah, so I'm like, oh, he can sing? I had no idea. But so I was really excited about that. I think that was a good addition to that. We're gonna also get into the smaller changes they've made to the plot. For example, so my friend that I went to go see it with, I thought it was cool that she's never actually seen the movie at all, because she had a different perspective. She was able to go into the movie blindly, not be able to compare it to anything at all, and just kind of go into it with a clear head, not knowing really anything about the plot, which I thought was cool. With me, I've seen The Little Mermaid when I was, a little kid, and I kind of remember some things, but I definitely refreshed my memory by watching it like 2 weeks ago. So I do still know things. So I do remember, in the original movie when Ursula and Ariel are making their deal. In the original, Ursula makes Ariel sign like a contract with her name on it. The movie, she doesn't do that, which I was like, okay, new change, whatever. Now, despite that whole change, she definitely switches it up a little, which I thought was jacked. That's rude, Ursula, but obviously Ursula is a sea witch, so like whatever. I obviously expect her to be evil, but like what she did was very rude. So she like tricked her more. Like she doesn't tell her that she pretty much the spell is like she's not gonna remember that she has 3 days to kiss Prince Eric. Every time somebody brings it up, she does not know like what they talking about. I thought that was very freaking rude, but that was a good add to the plot because they obviously don't have that in the original. Thought that was cool. One of the best ones, like, I can't speak because I told you I'm a little tipsy. One of the best ones was the song stuff. Like, when Sebastian was singing Under the Sea, Ariel, aka Halle, is like adding a little harmony to it. And she's singing along with him. And I was like, okay. I got really surprised with that, and I was like so excited. Her voice is obviously beautiful, and as she's singing, I was like, oh my god, that's not how it is in the original. In the original, Sebastian is literally just the only one singing it, trying to convince her to like stay in the water, like, your life is here, it's better here, and blah blah blah. So I thought that was cool. When they sing same thing with like Kiss the Girl, like Flounder, Scuttle, and Sebastian are all singing, adding harmonies. And the original, Sebastian is the only one bringing vocals. So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, the stuff that Scuttle was doing was really cool. I think a lot of the stuff that Awkwafina was giving was improv. And I really thought it was nice that, and I don't know why they made this change, but I think it's cool. They made Scuttle a woman instead of a man. And I was like, it's kind of giving though. I know people also had a lot to say regarding like the animals' like appearance. I think the whole idea behind it was they wanted the people to look more realistic, which at first did I look at Sebastian and be like, ooh, like what is that? Yes, but that's only because I did not know that they wanted the characters to look more realistic. So when I saw Flounder and everybody was like, Flounder don't look like that, I'm like, you know what? That's how he would realistically look. So I do agree with what they were doing with like how characters would look. Obviously, if they were to be like, hey, we're gonna, take from what we got on the like animated version and kind of make it our own, I obviously would expect them to look like them, like more like themselves. But I think their take was a realistic version, so I was okay with the changes with the characters and how they looked. I thought they looked cool. So let's get to Eric Miss Ariel's chemistry, because that was kind of giving too. Hold on, let me have a sip of wine, because like I'm thirsty. Ooh, yeah. So, first of all, I like the fact, like I said before, I like the fact that Eric had his own song. It was giving like individuality, like I'm my own man. I'm not the same man from the animated scene, like, you know, scene and animated film. I really liked it. I did like the fact also they kind of changed his costume. He still had the iconic boots and the iconic white shirt with like the black or like blue pants, but he had like a vest added to it. I thought that was cool. It kind of reminded me of Aladdin, and Aladdin, obviously Aladdin has like a purple vest. He's like shirtless with like puffy white pants and shoes and like a little hat. But in the like live action version, some things are kind of switched around with his clothes, and I didn't mind the change. So it kind of reminded me of like the Latin live action. I kind of reacted the same way that I reacted to that live action. But so I will say I was completely taken back by Prince Eric's vocals, because I didn't know, like I said before, one, I didn't know that Prince Eric has a song in the movie. I did not know. So that means I did not know Jonah can sing. He was giving vocals. And I was like, sir, you're that fine and you can sing? That's very dangerous. When you can sing and you're that fine. Anyway, so obviously Ariel had a new song. There was one point in time where she obviously wasn't speaking, but she was singing. And I was like, oh, this is a new song. I never heard this, because in the movie, she just stopped singing. She just stopped talking. There's no, like, in my mind, I want to be singing this and yada, yada, yada. No new songs, no nothing. Like, when she stopped talking, she stopped talking. That's pretty much it. Also, in the movie, Ursula is more dramatic when she's like, oh, you'll never be able to talk again, or like, you'll never be able to like speak or whatever. She says something about speaking specifically in the original. In this particular movie, she doesn't say anything about speaking. She just pretty much tells her, like, you won't have any of your mermaid talents, your siren voice. And that's pretty much it. Like, she doesn't really say that you won't have your voice for these 3 days. You know what I mean? So I think for people who have never seen the original, like my friend, were kind of like, wait, when they noticed she wasn't speaking, they were like, wait, this is part of the movie? Like, she can't speak either? They didn't realize that, you know, her speaking is also like included. So I thought that was cool too. I'm trying to think. There was also another change that I really liked too. But a lot of it was like smaller thing. Oh, this is a change that I didn't really like. They killed Ariel's dad for like 10 seconds. Like, it wasn't long, but they killed him. And the way I reacted, girl, I literally was like, oh, wait a minute. And the girl next to me was like, oh my God, girl, he died. And I was like, this is a Disney movie. Are we killing people? And then he came back and I was good. But still, like, don't try to play. The other subtle change that I liked is in the original, Ariel has sisters, but like, they're not really like main characters. They don't really speak, but you see them. In this movie, they speak. You see them. I was with it. Cast is very inclusive, which I liked. It was a lot of, I think it was, let me think. There was like an Asian sister, there was a black sister, there was a white sister. I was like, okay, it's giving inclusivity. We're with it. If we're going to cast a black Ariel, you're going to cast her sister as, okay, all right, we're going to put a little of that, a little of that. Also, too, Eric's mom is in this film, which is also another like kind of difference from the original, because we don't see Eric's parents at all. We just see kind of like, what's his name, Grimsey? We just see him, which is like Eric's butler, I guess, slash like guardian or whatever in the original film. And in this film, his mom is black. It reminded me of something though. If you ever seen Brandy's Cinderella, that is just a kind of like a colorblind cast. Brandy's black, obviously. Whitney Houston, who is her godmother, is black. Stepmother is white. Stepsister is white. The other stepsister is black. Then you get to the Prince Charming. He's Asian. Whoopi Goldberg is literally his mother. She's black. And then the king is white. It's a very colorblind cast. It kind of gave that a little bit, which I wasn't like mad at. It kind of reminded me of when Halle was first cast and people were upset that she was black. I was looking at comments about how, oh, when we were little and we were watching Cinderella and it was a colorblind cast, nobody said anything about that, but now you're commenting because Little Mermaid's black. And I did kind of agree with it. I mean, you see Halle, you see Halle, you see her. You see her. I mean, you see her. You see her. But okay. Overall, it was a really good movie, though. Like, I cried. Also, I watched it in 3D, so it was like a different effects. Like, things were coming out of the screen. So it was like double magical, if that makes sense. It was giving. Like, I felt like I was under the sea. Like, I truly felt like I was under the water and I was watching her deal with the stuff that she was dealing with. That's what it was giving. I don't know if it's because of how it was shot or if it was 3D or all of the above, but it was giving something. So definitely would recommend it. I think I dressed up and was just so excited because my inner child was super happy. Because when I was little, all I had was, for starters, was Brandy's Cinderella, which was great. But obviously I wanted more because all I saw was, white princesses, and like, no shade toward them. I loved them, but I wanted someone who looked like me. And then of course I saw Jasmine and Mulan and I was like, okay, they don't look like me, but I can tell they aren't white. Then we got to Tiana and that was giving. But Tiana was a frog for half of the movie. So I was like, we need something and more. When I found out about this, I was like, my inner child is screaming. We have a black woman who beat out everyone, not just white people, everyone, because her voice, not just, oh, how she look and we can't cast somebody black. No. It was because her freaking voice was angelic and they let her keep her locks, which meant a lot to me and meant a lot to everyone in the black community. Like, that's not a thing. Like, back in the day, like, and we, even now in this society, even black hairstyles, it's like, oh, it looks a certain way. You're not supposed to have that. It's supposed to be straightened and it's supposed to be this. Like, everyone always criticizes us wearing wigs or braids or anything really. So the fact that she had locks was just like, it was kind of like, to me, they kind of let her be herself and take a little bit of Ariel and put herself in Ariel. That's kind of what I got out of it. Like, you're going to be this character, but you're also going to intertwine a little bit of Halle into this, which I thought was nice. And the fact that she beat out like everyone, I'm literally can't even speak. Like, I'll say a word and then I'll say it again because like I probably need some water. This is so embarrassing. Anyway, I'm going to go. I gotta go watch my show. I gotta go watch Ghost. So I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.